Good morning, sunshine. Welcome to Morning Inspiration with Friends with our host, Miss Inspiration. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe as you sit back and listen.
Okay. This morning, technical difficulties. We gotta love technology. Good morning, everyone. It's your girl Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration, here for another amazing message that I have for you all. Today is Friday. For those of you, happy Friday. We made it. We made it. We made it to another. I made it through another week. And I know for me, this was a rough week. How was your week? Tell me. Put it down in the comments. I know it can't just be me that was like going through all week. I know it wasn't just me. So I want to definitely hear. Give me the tea. Give me the whatever you've been dealing with. What is going on? Because I feel it as well. Okay. So today's conversation is a continuation to Wednesday's conversation. Wednesday's conversation, if you are not following, you did not get the chance to see it yet, it was a great message. It was really focusing on how we should start putting our energy towards the things that we know that we're good at, right? Today, I want to switch it up just a little bit because why not? We're only going to grow when we are stretched. And when we are stretched, that is how we start to grow. So that's definitely number one. But today I want to talk about when other people see your gift in you. And for many people, including myself, that is very difficult at times to embrace those things that other people are saying. And so the only thing that I know for me has been, I would hear other people say these things about me, but it wouldn't register within me. I would still feel as though like, no, that's not really who Tanisha is. That's impossible. Although I might have heard it already from either God, it might have been something I had dreamt about when I was younger, right? But to hear it from other individuals is what we call confirmation. So you hear people always say, oh my God, that was confirmation. I'm one of those people, right? So I have literally been in spaces where I will see someone and they could be doing something and God would drop it in my spirit. Like, hey, have you ever thought to do XYZ? And these would be people I wouldn't know. And so sometimes it will freak some people out. So because they're like, who is this total stranger? Why does she even know that I have this ability of doing XYZ if I'm not currently physically doing it? Because God can use anyone at any particular time and he will tell them. And now, again, I won't know. I'm just like being obedient because that was another message that we spoke about earlier this week. Being obedient. When you are obedient, God can come in and start sending people to you that you are going to confirm. You don't need to know all the details. You just have to be an obedient participant, right? That's really all that it is. You got to come down to being that obedient participant for the Lord to help those individuals take actions. So that's why whenever I'm talking about purpose, I don't only focus on the things that you identify that you're good at, right? I don't do that because so often what a lot of people are doing is they're only focusing on the things that they have been paid to do at one time or another. So they're just saying, well, yeah, I'm good. I'm a good, sales associate. And everyone is like, yeah, but that's great. But what else are you good at? And people won't see that because they're only focused on the things. So you have this like multiple layers when you're trying to figure out what your purpose. It is, what are you really good at? And what do you enjoy doing? But the milk and butter is really coming from the people that God is sending into your life, and they're telling you, they're the ones that's calling you to tap into that gift. They're probably annoying you because they're always calling you to cook something, to make something, because that is what you are called to do. Your current job, your current profession just is not in alignment with that. So you don't see it yet. You're still looking at it from a perspective of your resume. And one thing I need us all to understand, we are not our resume. Your resume is a glimpse of who you are. If you have more than one version of a resume, then it cannot represent who you are if you have multiple versions. We can't even get all our greatness on one sheet of paper. That's how amazing we are. That's how good God is, because he put so much goodness in us that he's like, I got more for you. These other people, they may not see that. They may not understand that, but I'm telling you, I have so much more good for you. So this is the reason why when you start having those conversations about what is my purpose, you have to take into consideration what the things that people that are close to you, people that are strangers, what are they saying that you're good at? What do they calling you for? Because that is what you're supposed to be doing. That is your confirmation from God that is what he needs for you to start focusing on. You need to start shifting those conversations and those actions towards doing exactly that. Because those people that are out there that are waiting, right? Good morning, Paula. Happy Friday. Those people that are sitting at home they're sitting at home and they're trying to figure out their life. They're hoping that God will send a Tanisha to come into their life and speak into them, right? The same way you are out there and someone is praying and waiting for you to show up and to pop up so that things can change in their life as well. But you're not seeing that. You're focusing on the your current situation. You're focusing on what's on your LinkedIn profile. God is like, I gave you more. And most of us don't even ever tap into what we're really called to do. How do you think I ended up back on live, going live? I had stopped for a long time. I had really stopped. I was out here and I was just like, you know what, God, I'm going to just, I got my job. I like what I do. It's not stressful. It's really, it has its moments as any job would. But you know what? I'm not really in the space of like feeling ungrateful and trying to get God to just send me something, send me anything. And when I was in Colombia, this happened when I was in Colombia. I literally sat there and I was just like, I got to start going back live. So not only did I start looking at maybe focusing on, my community, it was like, but people, the general public still needs those messages. Because when I first started to do inspirational messages, this was in 2015. I started to do them then. And I literally was just like, all right, God, so when I came back, that's why the Throwback Thursdays and last week, those messages have all been from that first time that I went live, the 21-day challenge. I went live for 21 days. And I think by the time I even got halfway through, God had already placed in my heart, like, you need to continue with this. And in true God fashion, he sent my friends. They will come and watch either live or on the replay. And shout out to everyone that's watching on the replay. Make sure you hashtag replay so I know that you were here. And make sure you like and subscribe for those of you that haven't done so yet. But yeah, so when I came back, she gave me the name. I was just like, all right, God. And here we are. We have now, I think the last time I looked, Morning Inspiration with Friends, we now have over 125 episodes. Like, that's consistency. That's me tapping into what I know that I'm called to do. And if it makes me feel good, people are like, well, you don't get paid. You wake up every morning and you're not getting paid for it. I'm not worrying about that, because one thing I do know, I can tell you, when you do what God is telling you to do, he's going to make sure that you're good. He's going to take care of you. Those opportunities will come. People will sew into you. People will buy. They will buy the t-shirts. They will buy the coffee mugs. And make sure if you want down below, you might see the shop. Go ahead and get you a morning inspiration mug. Go ahead and get you a morning inspiration t-shirt, because that is a part of building and, supplying for this morning inspiration with friends. But other than that, I don't focus on that part. I focus on putting out those messages, because when I get those DMs or I get those messages on Messenger from people and telling me, you know what, I caught the replay. This was exactly what I needed to hear. This was an on-time message. That's when I know I'm properly in the right location. And then God will just send me like a random check that I wasn't even expecting. And so I know that as long as I continue to be obedient and do what God is calling me to do, it is going to provide me everything that I need. I'm never going to be in lack. So we got to separate that. This is the reason why more people are not leaving the jobs that they hate, the jobs that don't even pay them enough. Like, there are people out here right now that are working hard to the bones at a job that doesn't even pay them enough money to pay their rent. So now they have to go out there and go get another job. And so whenever I meet those people and they're like, yeah, I got to find a second job, I'm trying to get them to take that gift and activate it so that they can make some money, because our gift is going to make room for us. AKA, our gift is going to help us to make money. It's going to help take care of us. But we're not thinking like that because we're not conditioned to think like that. I saw an article yesterday. There's a New York City transit worker. I'm curious. I would love to meet him to find out. But they say he's made over $300,000 in a side hustle. They cannot confirm it. They cannot tell where. He's doing like some contract work, right? He's tapping into a gift that is outside of transit. And they're mad because they do have, a lot of these companies do have stipulations in your employment that you're not supposed to have outside employment, or you are supposed to get permission before you pursue that. But for someone to generate over $300,000 in a side hustle, and it's like just actual work, but your company finds out, that person is a G, right? Because they're tapped and they have figured out this is something that people find valuable. And when they find something valuable, what do they tend to do? Well, they're going to start making money with that. They're going to start to monopolize on that. They're going to monetize. This is the reason why there are people right now on Facebook. I can't stand Facebook, but I love Facebook. Because you got so many people now who just post nonsense because they know that's what's going to make their page monetize. They know that if they put out this one post that's very controversial, has nothing to do with their personal lives, but if they post it, it's going to cause them to get some money. And so because it's going to help them to make money, they're going to continue to stay there and be in them conversations that are like, this is not fulfilling for you. He probably was just staying for the pension. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, that's the only thing that came to my mind, Paula. Like, yeah, he's just doing it for the pension. But now you in trouble. But like I said, I still want to talk to him. What were you getting these contracts from? Like, you know me, I'm always intrigued. How people do things, how people make money. Like, that's one thing I'm always intrigued, because a lot of times when they realize all they're doing is maximizing on what they're good at. They're only maximum. I want everyone, and I'm not affiliated with this person, but this person just dropped in my spirit. Neo Davis. I've been following Neo Davis. It's 25, probably since 2021. He probably came up on my radar around, the pandemic. And the one thing that I can say that I've consistently watched, right? Because he documents his journey, everything that he has tried, the things that he's been good at, he's been successful at, he's documented that. So you're able to watch that. And that's the one thing. Neo will be like, he's good at, cleaning up. Him and his wife started a dumpster business. This was like years ago. He's like more now in the digital. He's more in the digital space. I don't know, Paula. That guy for transit might have been a transportation consultant. Like I said, the article wasn't trying to go into too much details, which I can't stand. I hate journalism like that. I was a journalism major in college, so it always irritates me. I'm like, can y'all put a little bit more details in this? Like, y'all be really just giving us bare minimum, surface level. This is the reason why people be out here be loud and wrong, because if they are reading the article, it's still not even giving them information. I hate that. But yeah, so when I look at Neo has tapped into and grind into everything that he has been good at, and it makes him successful. And while everyone might not, because someone said this to me before, they was like, I have no desire to be a millionaire. I just want to make like $150,000. Cool. We all have different desires. I know what I need. I know what I'm responsible for. And you know what? After taxes, at least having having access to $1 million before taxes, I think would definitely help me to get everything that I need situated. And that's it. Like, I'm not trying to be a billionaire. Like, that's too much. That's too, at least for me. But you know what, God, I'm sorry. Let me not put any blockings on what you want to give me, right? Because we do that too. See, that guy that I was talking about for transit, he probably was looking at him and somebody was like, man, you got a good check, man. That's a good paycheck. And he was like, nah, but I know I can do better. And we already know when you're in a system, there's already a max of what you already can make. But when you go outside of that system and you start tapping into what is naturally within you, or just a skill that you have that you know is necessary and that is needed, there is no limitations. That's what we're learning. That's what we're trying to break free from, the limitations. So that's the real reason why I'm like, I would love to meet that dude, because you have to have a real mindset shift to break free from that. Because so many people never do that. They don't think like that. Their mind is just like, no, I have to stay here because, and they said, this is the most that I can make, or I can make more if I just do a whole bunch of overtime. And God is like, I didn't want that for you. I don't want that for you. That's not your portion. You know, a couple of weeks ago, and I talk about this quite often. I always say I wasn't meant to work 40 hours. I'm definitely not meant to work 2 and 3 jobs and working 60, 70 hours. It's not in my portion. That's not in my path, and I accept it, and I believe that. So when people are like, oh, well, you can go work in the daytime, and then when you leave, you go work at night. I was like, I did that before. I've been part of that ministry. I did that for about 2 years until I realized, how about we just find a place that just pays us enough to cover all of this? And then when you have free time, then you can start tapping. And that's when I started tapping into coaching. This was during my weight loss journey. So I was tapping into making smoothies for people, meal prepping. It's so many different things that we can like really tap into. Let's see. Paula said, folks used to tell me not to leave a job when it paid well. I made the leap anyway. The connection and skills are how I'm able to be self-employed. Paula, that's why you and I are friends. Like, you have, like, this is what, like, I love being around people that go against status quo. I've walked away. $90,000 job, for 5-6 minutes from my house. But that was the most draining, miserable job on earth. And when I walked away from that, the next day, literally the day after, I actually hosted a workshop at a school where I made $275 in that first hour. Just 1 hour. Doing what I love to do. Doing what I'm naturally good at. And people were like, is that even possible? Yeah, it is possible. Because then a couple of years later, I was able to secure something where I made $1,000 an hour. Now, imagine if, and this is where I take the ownership and accountability. Imagine if I was super consistent, if I continued to knock on more doors and didn't get discouraged when I heard no, and I just continued to do with the people that are in alignment. So like the Paulas, the Bolas, those people that come into my life and they're like, Tanisha, you should be doing this. I need to continue to listen to those individuals, because if I already have the blueprint and I already know that it worked because I've seen the results of it, why wouldn't I want to take that leap? Right? Sometimes the leap could just be, it might not be to go into self-employment, but it could just be, we need to, like, sometimes God just needs you to get out of that place. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about anything else. I just need you to get away from there, because that's not where you're supposed to, that's where you're not supposed to go. Right? Exactly. Inspirational trailblazers go against the grain. We do. We can't do what everyone else is doing. Y'all hear me talk about this book all the time, The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. I'm going to just start putting it at the bottom because this book comes up so often, right? There's a chapter in the book and it talks about the champions. Who do you think the champions are? The trailblazers. The people that have said, I understand what you're saying. I hear all your fears. I hear all the doubt. I hear all the what coulda, what shoulda, what might. I hear all of that. But I'm going to still go. And I'm going to do what I got to do. And I'm going to make a path. And then they make that path. And the beautiful part about a lot of those champions, they come back. And they're guiding you through the next process. Right? They're guiding you through the process because they went through the process. And they're not trying to tell you exactly what you should be doing. What they're really showing you is just the principles that you have to hold on to. This is the problem, and I'm going way deep, going deep. We're gonna have to channel this until Monday. But we really just don't see how often the enemy doesn't want you on that path. So he doesn't want you to listen to people like myself. He doesn't want you to meet the Bolas and the Paulas, because those people have gotten up and said, enough is enough. I don't belong here. This is not my ministry. This is not where I'm supposed to be. And they walk away. And then they go make their own path. And they understand the principles and they hold on to those principles. And they understand, you know what, it might not have worked here, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to work somewhere else. What we're conditioned is you tried it didn't work, then it's not meant for you. No. I tried it, but I didn't do it where God told me. What did we talk about for the week before last and this week? We got to start following the instructions as they are given to us, not the way that we want to do them. When you go out here and say, God gave me, he told me what to do, and then you do exactly what God did not tell you what to do, then you're not following the instructions the way that they were given to us. This is the reason why so many people are walking away from their purpose. You are one action away. You're either one action away or one yes away from God really moving and shaking and turning everything around in your life. But you're not listening to the people that are telling you that he's literally he's putting them in your face. He's like, can you tell them I need them to do this? And like I said, I know when I hear people say, oh my gosh, I keep hearing that. People keep telling me this. Okay, then this means that is confirmation. It is confirmation. He is screaming at you now. This is what he wants you to do. No, it's not on your resume. No, you've never been paid for it. No, it's not going to be what you're getting paid for at your current job. I remember the first time I reached out to someone just to have a conversation about maybe doing a workshop. And they were like, well, what's your budget? And I remember lowballing myself so bad. But this is why I love when you are in the right place, God is going to send the right person in that. And they're going to be like, And the person said to me, what? All that you're trying to offer? And I was calculating what I was getting paid at the job. No, that's what their budget was. We're in a whole different system. So, Tanisha, in order for you to stand in front of here, that's why when I got paid that $1,000, it was a scary feeling. But when it was like, what's your rate for 1 hour? I was like, because you know what? If you say no, I'm not going to make $1,000. Cool. Or we might just negotiate and go down. And I was like, 1,000. And they were like, okay, cool. Send us the invoice. Like, that's all that a lot of us need to take action. Take that risk. Because you know this is what you're supposed to be doing. And I know it sounds scary and it seems scary because there's no security. But guess what? There's no security on these jobs. Did y'all hear what the Department of Education just did? What did the Department of Education just do yesterday? Now they have classified that majority, because it's like majority of the professional degrees are no longer going to be covered fully by student loans. What does Tanisha do for a profession? I'm a college professor. So that means that every student that was planning to just ride out the wave and keep going back to school for a degree here and there, they're not going to be able to do that. So the enrollment, when it's normally 25, I promise you these schools are going to start seeing a decrease in their enrollment. So you really have to think about these things. I have to think about these things, right? And I'm saying like, no, we have to start going outside of these boxes, because when the world, this is the reason why Romans 12:2 is the scripture that I stand on. We cannot conform to the ways of the world. We have to get out of that. So now the system is now telling me that majority of my college students are not going to qualify to be able to sit and complete those degrees. That's basically what the system just told us. So now those schools are going to start scaling back, already having to scale back because of federal funding issues. So now we're going to see a decrease. Do you think I'm afraid? I'm not. Want to know why I'm not afraid? Because Tanisha has been in the last 2 months. If you are watching me on YouTube, you probably have noticed that I'm everywhere. I post, we have these shorts going up every single day. I am going to tap into what God is calling me to do. Everybody's going to know Miss Inspiration. I went to an event the other day, Wednesday night, and guess what I did? I was in there, and yes, I'm Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration, inspirational speaker, da-da-da. Everybody got to know who I am now, because guess what? I already know what's about to happen in higher ed. Unless you are in a very unique space, continuing ed, they're not impacted. Most people pay out of pocket for continuing ed. But traditional colleges, it's going to take a hit. Grad programs, they're going to definitely take a hit. So unless mommy and daddy has a trust fund, or you have a really good job and they're willing to pay for you for that entire degree, we're going to see a hit. But I can't be moved by that. Paula, I had this up for a while. Paula said she had a former client with the same mindset as myself. I've been standing by my fees unapologetically since. Yes, we have to. Because you know what? Someone said to me the other week, you're just like, people are just starting out. I don't know how they just be walking out here thinking that they're going to get thousands of dollars. I said, you're the problem. Because you're out here walking around feeling as though you got to give it away for free. If I have to travel to go somewhere, I'm not giving it for free. Now, you might get it for free online. We could do a virtual 30 minutes. Yeah, you might get it for free. Or you might just get a discount. But if I have to physically get in my car, get on a plane, a train, bus, whatever, no, I'm not. I'm standing firm on it. Because guess what? There are organizations out there that have 6- and 7-figure budgets for whatever it is that I do. I need to tap into a few of those. Just a few. I don't need all, because I need to make space for the other people. Because I understand someone else out there might need it. So Jeremy, I think his name is Jeremy Anderson. You probably seen him on Instagram. I know he does stuff with Eric Thomas. And Eric Thomas, and he had said last year sometime that the cheapest, he doesn't show up for anything less than, I think, $40,000. And, people are in the comments, oh, that's crazy. People don't have that kind of money. Obviously, somebody does got that kind of money. Someone has $40,000. And guess what? The people that only have $10,000 budgets, they're gonna find Tanisha, because Tanisha will come for $10,000. He won't, because he says 40, and that's cool. He's making space for the rest of us. He's put out there, I'm not doing this no less than this. When I was the director of operations for a charter school, we had our professional development budget was literally like $700,000. We paid one lady, one lady, $50,000 to come and do a workshop similar to what Tanisha talks about, purpose and finding purpose in your word. This was back in 2015, 15. I'll never forget, because I loved the workshop because it was what I talk about. It's what I do. And I remember I cut the check, so I knew how much we paid her. And this woman was here for 6 hours. She got, we paid for her travel, first class, everything, black cars. This was when Uber was first starting, so they didn't have, so we had to actually still call a car service to get her a black car. And like food, everything, 50,000 to sit and tell us for 6 hours how to figure out how to find out, how to talk about purpose and to tell you that you can find purpose in your work too. That's all that she did. She didn't tell us the real hows. She didn't go through any real activities. It was just her talking. $50,000. And so when I tell people that, because I've seen that. So when it's a lot different when you've seen it. On either end, either you are the person who's receiving or you are the person who is submitting, who's paying. You know it's possible. So why don't you know that it's possible for you? Because you don't want to accept what people are telling you that you're good at? Because you don't want to accept and tap into the things that people know you're amazing at? And they keep telling you this over and over? Nah, you're losing out. You're stressed out right now. Getting up every day bothers you. You don't have the life that you want. Some of you probably haven't been on vacation, even a staycation, but you out here hustling. You out here working 60, 70 hours a week, and you still struggling. But what if we tap into the calling that God has for us? Because I also tell people, everything is not everybody need to go out there and be an entrepreneur. It could simply just be, I know that I could find a position, and that could just stretch you by itself. So I'm gonna stop here because I was not expecting to go this deep and this far. But thank you for everyone that came in. I know that we'll be back here on Monday. Make sure you hit up my link tree. My next Google Workspace boot camp is coming up December 13th and December 20th. It is a 2-day. Early bird is currently on the way. You can get your early bird ticket. And if you have a friend who is also looking to upskill, to learn these new skills, learn how to properly use Microsoft competitor, which is Google Workspace. If you learn one of the two, then you'll be prepared for the next one. Absolutely make sure that you lock into that. So you and a friend can join for the one price. Join now, or you can just get your own ticket and you can show up. And it's 2 Saturdays, 6 hours total, 3.5 hours each week, because you're gonna get a break, right? I need breaks. I can't just speak that long. But we just finished the first version. The first cohort just ended yesterday, and I mean, it was like the more that I'm like, now that we're finished, I'm already like, we need a part 2. We need to advance. Because there's so much that I know that people need to know in these jobs that a lot of people don't know how to do. So I want to give you just the ability to have those skills and have the resources that you need so you can go out there and get these jobs and you can keep these jobs, right? It's not sometimes it's personality and character that causes, but when people just don't know how to do something that the companies are asking you to do, and then you are ashamed, you tend to just sit there and you hold it in, and it's like, it's not helping. So sign up for the Google Workspace Bootcamp right now. The link is in the link tree. It's the first link in my link tree. Register, get one of those, buy one, get one free for you and a friend so that y'all both can enter 2026 with the skills that y'all need so that you can be successful out here. We got to make it. We got to get it happen. The last digital product works masterclass that I didn't have that many people, but that's okay. We're going to still keep pushing and moving. I'm going to keep putting out there. I want to help you to learn how to tap into this and then how to start building passive income. That's really my main focus now is passive income. How can I make the most money passively? And meaning that I don't have to sit and physically work for it. So when I wake up and I see those ebooks have been sold, someone else purchased a course that has been already developed and now they just have to go to, that is passive income. That's what we're going to start focusing on. So that's why I show people how to make different digital products. So let me just show you some of the digital products that I have made over over the years. So this is actually a planner that I created. I used to create teacher planners. This is a digital product. You create this one time and then you just post it on Amazon and then people can purchase it. This is another version of that same planner. I also have like ebooks that I have created. So you have a lot that you can actually do. Journals, there's a lot. So I just got an email yesterday from Amazon from one of my, like, I'm getting paid royalties from one of the products that I have. I don't even look at the breakdown. I just get the email and I'm like, oh, more money's coming in, right? That's what we're talking about. That's passive income. So we'll talk about that more a little bit next week as well. But and by next week, by Monday, I will have when we're gonna have the next digital product masterclass, because I really want us to start tapping into that. It's an amazing feeling to wake up and just be like, oh, somebody purchased something. Oh, while I was sleeping, right? Money's being made. You asleep, and they was out here just buying, right? That's what we want, more of that. So if you haven't hit that like. If you haven't hit that subscribe, hit that subscribe button and join me. Make sure you hit that notification so that you will know that I am going live. I do try to notify and put out an announcement before I actually go live, since sometimes I am not here at 7 a.m. on the dot. Okay, so give me grace, give me space. But all right, have a great day. I love you all. Be well, be blessed. Continue to do amazing things. And Paula, you too, have an amazing weekend. And everyone else who's watching this live or on the replay, have a great weekend as well. Jelly Bean said hi. I gotta go get him from outside right now. All right, guys, have a good one. See you next week.
Wow, Tanisha, that was a powerful message. I hope everyone was blessed by today's message. Listen, if you are not tuned in, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Meet us for morning inspiration with friends every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m.-ish CT time. See you next time, friend.